Hey, welcome back to Max Nay for Horsemanship again today. And today I'm going to talk about a couple things that I covered in previous videos, but that was years ago. So certainly time to do it again because I saw an example that, well, it made me think about this stuff, and I thought I should talk about this a little. And what I'm going to talk about is picking up feet. Well, sort of. It's about whether or not it's safe to pick up feet on a horse that's, well, new to you, or in one way or another, either you just got the horse or it's a friend's horse, whatever. If you don't know the horse, you don't just walk up to it and grab a leg. That could end badly. In fact, depending on how a horse kicks you, it could even kill you. So this is something in my channel I've mentioned many different things regarding safety. This is one of those things. It's a safety issue we're going to talk about here today, and I'm going to show you how to do it safely. Step number one, first thing you're going to do is you want to have a lead and halter on the horse. You're never ever going to do this without a lead and a halter on the horse. That's the first thing. And you also have to hold it short enough that that horse can't spin around and get its back end towards you, because that can happen, trust me. This very horse right here is the one that taught me that that's possible if you don't have a lead and halter on and the horse gets annoyed with you. That was many years ago, and it did not end badly, fortunately, but it can. So be careful. You don't want to be doing that. Make sure that the lead is short enough that the horse can't spin around, especially on one you don't know. Like this one here, I've worked with her lots. We do all kinds of liberty stuff. Having her without a halter on would be pretty safe right now. I wouldn't worry about it too much. Right now she's actually a little concerned because her boyfriend's on the other side of the fence over there, and they kind of like each other. Now, for my demonstration today, what I'm going to use, it's actually my lunge whip, but it's been shortened down. I think you've seen this one before in other videos. I still got the long string on it, but I'm using this because I want to demonstrate that you can use a number of different things, including something like a stick and string, but just hold your string back and hold on to it like that. So basically you just got the stick part, even if the string is still on it. Or you can take this string off, which I don't know why they call it a string, it's more like a rope. But anyhow, or anything, really. The only one thing I would not recommend using, it might be a little too much, would be, say, a flag. Because if it happens to be a breezy day or something like today, well, with most days, that flag might get a little too active and it might bother the horse, even if it is otherwise pretty decent with its legs. Even this one here, I think, might get a little annoyed with that. It could happen. So, but I'm using this. I have another stick that doesn't have a string on it, but I'm using this just to simulate a stick and string, and how you can use one of those too. Just take your string, hold it back tight so it's right against the stick, put it under your hand, hold on to it. I've got a little more here, so got to get rid of that. Otherwise, I'll just be in my way. But I'm going to show you what you can do. And this is all similar to a recent video I did where I was talking about finding out what the horse is liable to do. And it's basically determining what you're getting into, so that when you go into the horse to pick up a foot, you're not liable to get yourself kicked. And now there's a couple of things in that regard too that are safety items. And that comes to your position. Now when you're working with the front legs, you do not want to be directly in front of the horse. You want to be pretty much right to the side of the horse, because those front legs don't move sideways very well. So you're pretty safe if you're to the side. Directly in front, you could get struck. They could throw that front leg out forward very quickly. And, well, actually the back ones can go sideways. We'll talk about the back ones now. The front ones, just don't be in front of the horse. Bad place. The back ones, you don't want to really be directly beside them, and you definitely do not want to be behind them. But I'm just going to move a little further away from the camera so you can actually see what I'm doing here. Okay, now hopefully you got a decent view from there. And I'm going to show you what we're going to do. Now I'm going to be directly beside the horse, and I've done this very thing myself with other horses that I didn't know when I was babysitting them or whatever. And before you try ever picking up a foot on a horse you don't know, you got to do this stuff. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take my stick and just rub down her leg, front and the back of it, inside and out, sort of thing. Go all the way around as much as you can and see if you get a reaction. Obviously this one, she's pretty well handled when it comes to that sort of stuff. I'm not getting a reaction from her, but that's not the point. I can still demonstrate what you should be doing. And now moving to the back, same thing. Start up high so you don't get the horse all excited, and then work your way down, and there you go. Now she's a little, see, she's sensitive. She picked up her foot for me, actually, is what she did. But on a horse you don't know, you're going to do the same thing as you did with the front. You're going to rub down the outside, rub down the inside, the fronts and the backs, and you see whether or not the horse is liable to kick. Because, like I said, one kick, that could be real serious. You could get hurt bad. So, this, and using a stick of some kind, anything, doesn't matter. Like I said, the only thing I wouldn't recommend is, say, something like a flag. It might be a little too active, particularly on a windy day. It might actually bother the horse unnecessarily. But some kind of stick, you could even use an old broom handle or whatever you got handy. A branch off a tree, just take the leaves off so they aren't flapping around, otherwise it'd be kind of like a flag. But, I'm using this to demonstrate you can use a stick and string and just pull a string back, hold it back, and keep it out of your way, and then you can use it just like a stick. But this will give you a good idea whether or not you're going to get a reaction from the horse and what that reaction's liable to do. And don't do it on just one side. Do all four legs. Do both sides. Okay, I'm going to turn her around now. All right, sweetheart, turn around. There we go. Oh, right there. Perfect. Maybe back up a little so the camera can see you, dear. Thank you. And we're going to do the same thing on this side. I'm going to make sure I'm off to the side. Oh, right there, dear. Thank you. And you touch the front legs on the front, on the back, on the outside, on the inside. Like I said, stay off to the side of those. Don't get in front of them or you can get kicked. And then the back ones, they can kick sideways, which is referred to as a cow kick. They can also kick out to the hind. You definitely don't want to be there. That's a bad one. Oh, thank you, dear. And she's not cooperating very well today, so I'm having a hard time showing you, but do both sides. That's all I can say. Even if you can't see what I'm doing, do both sides. Start up high when you're doing the back so you don't surprise the horse by suddenly touching its leg. And you would do the same thing if you were trying to pick it up. See, I'm getting outside, inside, the front, and the back. And you notice I'm a long ways away from those legs. I'm pretty sure I'm out of the kick zone. I'm parallel to the front legs, and yet I'm touching the back legs. And so I'm in a fairly safe place, and that's what you need to do. But like I said, she has had her feet picked up so many times in her life, and she's so good at it that this is not an issue. But it is for some of you. And it's something that you need to be aware of. Don't just walk up to a horse and try picking up its feet. That could end badly. You could get hurt for sure. But, it's real simple. Just make sure you got a lead and halter on. Keep the lead short enough that the horse can't spin around. Get its back end near you. And then take your stick of whatever you got handy and go up and down, front, back, inside, out of each and every leg and watch for reaction. And and that'll be a good indicator of what you're going to get into. Once you've determined that it's relatively okay, then you can forget about the stick and work on picking them up by hand. And, well, that's what we're going to do now. I'm still going to keep the lead short enough that she can't spin her back into me. But actually, in the case of this horse, I probably could do it without a lead and halter at all, but we're not going to. That'd be silly. No point in unnecessarily risking. And I'm just going to start at the shoulder. I got my hand touching her leg. I'm not surprising her. Slide my hand down nice and slow and just ask for a foot, dear. Excuse me. Thank you. Good girl. There we go. Move around the other side. Oop, no, dear. I didn't ask you to move. Thank you. Run my hand down the shoulder, down the leg, and in her case, I don't even have to ask her to pick up her foot. She does it all for me, and it's that simple. But that's a safe way to do it. Never just walk up the horse and pick up its feet. Find out how it's going to react first before you pick up the feet, and that way you don't get hurt or possibly killed. And, well, like I said, I don't like seeing anybody get hurt, so there you go. Quick one. Doesn't take long to show you how to do that. That's an easy one. Have a good day.